Try something new. Did I just spit on my lens? Even if it's something that you're absolutely horrible at, or even if it's something that's very similar to something you've already done. Story time. It's January 2020. I'm on a study abroad program in Okinawa. There's this dude selling bamboo flutes for like $80. I'm very tempted to buy one, and most of my friends on that trip are like, Andy, you don't need it. You're the ocarina boy, not the bamboo flute boy. But one of my friends says, buy that flute, ocarina boy. So I bought that flute, and I played it a little bit when I first got it, but basically I have not touched this in around 3 years. It's too late to call the money spent on this flute a tax write-off, but it's never too late to make a video about it. I'm not gonna do like a technical review of it because I am not a flautist. This is really just all about trying something new, seeing where it goes, seeing what skills I can transfer from the ocarina. Okay, let's attempt to play this flute. I do remember how to play a scale on it. Otherwise, not much else. My embouchure for the flute is definitely lacking because I've never played a flute other than this one. And on that note, I'm not very good at the flute embouchure, but hey, you never get good at something unless you try. Let's start by trying to hold just a single note. Okay, could do better. Yeah! I'm definitely wasting a lot of my air. I feel a lot of my breath not making it onto like the little lip of the flute that makes the flute noises happen. But let's play a scale. I could be a lot worse at this considering I've basically not touched this flute in 3 years. That's a lie. I did pick up this flute and diddle around with it for about 5 minutes a couple weeks ago with the idea of this video in mind, just to make sure that it would be not a total train wreck. And it's not a total train wreck. Using an ocarina as reference, let's try to figure out what key this flute is in. Okay, that's a C on the ocarina. It seems this flute is in the key of C. Nice. Before we try to play any songs or anything, I want to discuss what immediately comes to mind about what transfers in terms of skills from playing the ocarina to playing this flute. The embouchure absolutely does not transfer, but the muscles and skill of breath pressure does. For you non-musicians, embouchure is basically like the mouth muscles involved in using a particular wind instrument. A trumpet has a different embouchure from a clarinet, which has a different embouchure from an ocarina, which has a different embouchure from a flute. So I have a very non-developed flute embouchure, but I do have a basic technique. It just takes a lot of effort with my mouth muscles. That said, I do have pretty good breath pressure considering that. If I want to increase the efficiency of my breath in terms of more breath goes into the flute to make more noise, I definitely need to focus more on improving my embouchure than my breath. However, I have good breath to begin with thanks to playing the ocarina and being a singer. More so the ocarina though. Secondly, covering fingerholds, that is indeed a transferable skill, and it's even like a little bit similar in how you hold the ocarina. Your right hand is tilted open and the left hand is tilted inward. Like right hand open, left hand inward. And on this flute, there are 3 holes for each hand. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this also has a mostly linear fingering pattern. So if you noticed as I was going up, it was all just like 1 finger up, 1 finger up, 1 finger up. But then to play the B before the C, the T before the do, I put my middle finger back down like so. So it was like F, G, A, B, C. So a bit different from the ocarina, but considering that it's basically 3 fingers similar to the ocarina, it feels very natural for my hands to play this, though there are no thumb holes. So I'd say the most difficult thing is the mouth embouchure of just the flute having a very difficult embouchure compared to the ocarina, because the ocarina you just kind of blow into it. That's an oversimplification, but compared to a flute, that kind of is what it feels like with an ocarina. Let's try to play a song or two. Oh, first, let's try to figure out a chromatic scale. I'm gonna guess that it's mostly just half covering holes in order to play sharps and flats, like. There's no E sharp, so I just go straight to F. I lost the embouchure all of a sudden. Okay, let's just try to play a scale to get back in the groove. I think for the B flat, it's lifting the index finger hole halfway and then switching to the middle finger. Let's test that out from the F. Oh, no, let's just test that out from the whole scale. Not perfect, but I've figured out some of the chromatic notes, or at least the idea of how you form chromatic notes. So let's attempt to play, I guess, Princess Mononoke, because I like that song, and I feel like that song would suit the sound of this flute quite well. So... Nope, that was the... I gotta find the B flat there. Okay, I think I found the B flat. I just need to cover the hole more than I think I need to, as I'm half covering it. I definitely messed up one of the B flats in there and maybe a couple other notes, but that was surprisingly smooth. However, we're gonna face another problem with this song on this flute in that I'm going above the main C major scale right here. I gotta blow harder to get to the next octave. So if the regular scale is as follows, do the next octave, I just have to blow a lot harder. Same fingerings. I do lack the flute skills to play the second octave well, but all I need to dip into is the bottom 3 notes of the second octave and we're good. So the fact that I could do that, nice, that's all I need. Let's stumble through Princess Mononoke and not sweat through the mistakes. If any major mistakes happen, we'll repeat the section. Then we'll note what goes wrong, try to fix it in the next run, or just try to fix those little bits surgically to then implement into a better playthrough. That part where it goes to the B flat and the A flat, which is an accidental A flat, I believe, that's messing me up, but that was really smooth. Let's just continue. That went surprisingly well. Nice. Let's try that one more time. I lost the embouchure. Ah! Okay, we'll find it. We'll find it again. Still not perfect, but considering I'm not a flautist, I've maybe played this flute for a total of maybe 2 hours 3 years ago and 10 minutes 2 weeks ago, I could do a lot worse. Things I'm immediately noticing, my left hand is hurting from gripping the flute like this. That's another thing that's not particularly transferable. The exact muscles for gripping the flute safely, those are somewhat different from the muscles of like gripping an ocarina. The ocarina uses slightly different parts of your finger and hand to grip than a flute. So even though it is a very similar grip of right hand open, left hand in, my left fingers are getting sore, so I'm gonna stop playing now. So what's the point of this video? I really just think that it is important to try new-ish things sometimes. It could be something totally out of your wheelhouse, like if I decided to take up equestrian. I have no transferable skills there, but it could be something that does use transferable skills, like picking up a flute after playing the ocarina. And trying new things can be a lot less scary when you consider how many skills you already have are incredibly transferable. Like, if you're a photographer and are pretty good at composition or just having an eye for what looks good in a frame, that transfers to graphic design, not exactly, but it'll make your path just a little bit easier. Skills you learn in drawing are also useful in painting. It's a different medium, but a very similar form of expression. The bodily control that you might get from martial arts, that's also useful in like ballroom dance. If you do judo, you're probably gonna be pretty good at the tango. Just don't like judo flip your tango partner. I don't think that's a legal dance move. I'm pretty certain I'm not gonna seriously stick with this bamboo flute as like a mainstay in my musical repertoire, but it's nice to know that I can pick it up, play some songs, and get finger and wrist exhaustion at the expense of having a really good time flexing my brain a little bit. Trying something a little bit different, a little bit new, something that takes a bit more effort, creativity, and instant learning and figuring stuff out. It is absolutely worth going outside of your typical routine to try something new. And maybe you'll enjoy that new thing more than you expect. The new things you try might have a lot of transferable skills from things you already know. Like my breath control as an ocarinist made picking up this flute a lot easier. Like I was able to play with a bit of vibrato in a couple notes, though it wasn't very good because my embouchure sucks. I don't have a flautist embouchure well developed yet, but my musical knowledge, breath control, and just songs that I already know from playing the ocarina transferred very much right here. Like I said, I'm probably not going to stick with this flute seriously, but hey, look at me trying new things. And that's really what I guess the point of this video is. You should try new things from time to time. Moreover, you should actively see how you can transfer skills you already have to new endeavors. Even though I'm almost certainly not going to stick with this flute very seriously, it's still fun to pick up and try. You don't need to initially like or be good at the things that you try, but you'll never know how much you might end up liking them or how good you might become unless you try. On that note, the next thing you're gonna see me try is the ukulele. I bought a method book and I've been practicing 30 minutes a day in the morning for the last few days. I'm gonna see how good I can get after 1 week of 30 minutes a day of practice. It's not to show like how good of a musician I am, it's just to show that if you just apply 30 minutes a day to something, you can learn a lot, but you'll have to wait for that video when it comes out. But once again, try something new. You might already have a certain amount of foundational skills to make it that much easier and that much more fun. Thank you to my patrons, especially my $5 tier patron Joshua. You can support me and my content for as little as $1 a month on patreon.com/Andy Cormier. And on that note of trying new things, don't doubt yourself. Watch my video about getting out of your own way to see what I'm doing to work on that and how it could potentially help you too. Otherwise, leave a like, subscribe for more, comment something you've always wanted to try, and I'll see you next time. Happy rootin', tootin', and flutin'. This is by far the worst outro catchphrase I've ever done. Bye!